Hi, my name is Tony, and today I'm going to show you how to make my split pea soup from plantbasedonabudget.com. If you have the Plant Based on a Budget cookbook, you can also find the recipe in here on page 120. We're going to get started with a large pot. We're going to add a tablespoon of neutral oil over medium heat. I love this recipe because it's so budget friendly, using pantry staples and ingredients that last quite a long time, like onions, carrots, celery, garlic, and split peas. We're gonna start with diced yellow onion. If you don't have a yellow onion, you can totally use whatever onion that you have on hand. Give that a mix. Then we're gonna add in 2 large cloves of garlic. You can also add more if you'd like. If you don't have a garlic press, feel free to mince it up. I use a garlic press because I'm lazy and I love a good kitchen tool. And this actually gets a lot of use in my kitchen. It was about, I want to say somewhere around $15, but I've had it for years and get a lot of use out of it. I'm adding in 2 ribs of celery. You can slice it if you'd like, but I like to dice mine. I take a rib and then I slice it 2 to 3 times, depending on the size of the rib of celery. And then I slice it lengthwise 2 to 3 times, and then I dice it going the opposite way. This is 1 large carrot diced, and I'm gonna saute it for a few minutes until the onions and celery become tender. It should be really fragrant as well. I tend to start my soups and a lot of dishes with onion, garlic, celery, and carrots. And sometimes if I have a little bit of extra time, I will double or triple the chopping all at once since I'm in the kitchen anyway. And then I'll store that to use throughout the week for meal prep. This has to be my favorite smell. If I threw in some ginger, oh, it's so delicious. As I mentioned, this is quite a budget-friendly soup. These split peas was $1.38 at Walmart for the 1 pound. And if you buy it in bulk, you could often get it cheaper at somewhere like Winco if you have that nearby. And onion was inexpensive. Carrots were about $1 for a pound. And the celery was $1.88. I've rinsed my split peas because one time, if you've been a long-time follower of Plant Based on a Budget, I was eating, I can't remember if it was lentil soup or split pea soup, and I did not rinse it because I didn't want to waste time doing that. But then I bit into a little tiny pebble and it hurt my tooth, and I did it on camera. This was when my husband and I were first dating, so it was about 2017, and it was very painful. So now I always encourage people to rinse and sort through. If you have a little bit of extra time, just do this and look around to make sure that you can take any of those pebbles out. Because I rinsed it, they got a little bit hard and stuck together, but that's okay. As soon as I pour the water in, it'll soften them up and have them split. Here we're gonna add in 7 cups of vegetable broth. I'm using water and some Better Than bouillon, but you can use vegetable bouillon or cartons or homemade broth if you'd like. And now that is all of the ingredients. As you can see, it's so easy and it's gonna be packed with flavor. Just you wait, it's gonna look so delicious and creamy at the end. Right now I'm turning up the heat and I'm gonna bring it to a boil, and I'm gonna add in some of my Better Than bouillon. It'll dissolve very quickly. I'm also gonna add in a little bit of black pepper. I'm gonna sprinkle it in generously because I like it. So now that it's boiling, I'm gonna put the lid on it and we're gonna let it rest for 45 minutes until it's nice, and it should be creamy and a little bit thicker. The peas will split and I'll show you what it looks like at the end, but we're gonna turn the heat down to a simmer and let it go for 45 minutes. My soup is done and you can see it's the most beautiful color. It's so simple, yet so comforting, complex in flavor. Add some split pea nutrients, which I don't know about you, but I don't eat a lot of split peas. We're having a huge storm in Sacramento right now, and it's raining cats and dogs. You might even be able to hear it outside. And this is exactly what I need for dinner. If you're in need of a comforting soup, this is the one. As you saw, it's so easy to make with just a few ingredients. It's very budget friendly and it tastes good to boot. I don't know anybody who doesn't like this soup. And what I love about it is that it's so versatile. So always on day one, I eat it plain, just like this. Then on day two, I'll change it up by taking a ladle and scooping into my bowl just one individual portion for me. And I'll change it by adding some hot sauce and lemon juice for night two. If I eat it on night three for dinner or for lunch on day three, then I can add in some nutritional yeast and give it a cheesy flavor. You can also add in some liquid smoke. If you're used to eating your split peas with ham and maybe you don't eat ham or you're trying to cut back, you can still have that smoky flavor and add in some liquid smoke, but just a little bit. You don't want to overpower the rest of the soup. Another big tip I have about this soup, because I've eaten it a billion times, is that it tends to solidify. And when it does that, I can do two things. You can water it down and that usually works, but you can also keep it more dense and serve it differently. So instead of eating it as a soup, you can serve it alongside brown rice or quinoa and then put a vegetable and it can be your protein source. So that's another option too. Either way, I love this because it's so customizable. You can add in some vegetables, you can add in some extra protein and put chickpeas, or you can add in a little bit of miso. There's so many options. I cannot wait to hear how you make yours in your home. Please use this as template and change it up based on yours or your family's preferences. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, I would appreciate it big time if you gave this channel a subscribe, hit the like button, and leave a comment below. I love to hear from you. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Bye.